Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their -3 game win streak. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Ready, blue lady.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Sunday. Ready, blue lady. Let's go.
Here's Darkwa. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to a 3rd level.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 and a first down. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Yeah, Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too. And you saw his legs. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zadarius Smith. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Steps away to his left. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They go play action here on first down. Now he's got it, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 7-0 is our score. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out.
Ready. Blue ready.
To throw is Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So a change of possession here on the punt. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw now on first down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them. Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll lead here to a third down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. And Bryant's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Ready. Blue ready.
A first down throw for Winston. And Winston lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it, they do.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns is going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
His throw caught at about the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Back to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now a second down throw for Winston. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Winston now to throw on first down. Over the middle to Evans. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Jameis now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Black. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Ready?
Now Jameis on second down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. We now proceed to the start of the second half. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Pretty move. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from the move.
That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 54 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Gone!
Now back to throw. Dancing to his... And he will score! Touchdown, Falcons! Their mobile quarterback. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
He didn't originally want to run, but he didn't see anything in the passing game, so he scrambled, and wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A second down throw for Winston. That's caught by Howard. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Ready?
On third down, Winston. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to him on first down. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
He'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Falcons on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They will run again with Coleman. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And Bryant's kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Ready. Blue 80.
Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. Throw right side caught by O.J. Howard. That one goes for 36 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
1st down, Winston. And it pops free. The jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now they try the right side here. Oh, look at the juke. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu. I'll tell you that much for free. Looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Falcons, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they drop their 7th game on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So for Charles Davis and our entire